Hey everyone, Dan O'Neill with Akumina today, and today we're going to be talking about embedding widgets inside of widgets. Now, this is something that gets talked to a lot with the customers I work with, and it's not so much asked by them, but rather almost implied. And what I mean by that is that there might be a request saying that we'd love to maybe have a custom layout that's outside of the experience builder, or maybe they just want to embed some poll results or important dates within a piece of content. How do we do that, right? I want to put a widget right here in the middle of my content, not in a zone or a drop zone or a row, whatever outside of that. How do we do that? So what's great is that we actually have a method inside of the framework that lets us do that. And it's called render child widgets. So what we want to do is basically add in an Akumina widget snippet into the page somewhere, and then fire this event, and then it'll actually just render that widget wherever it lives on the site. So again, a perfect use case for having a widget right here in the middle of my content right now. So to start, we got to grab the snippet of code to put into the item. So we'll do that by going to the app manager right from here. And I'll go to my management apps over here. Now, again, in this case, we're actually going to use the snippet code and not, the front end experience builder widget adding to the page that way. So I'll come over here in widget manager. I'll find my important dates. I'll click on my snippets over here. And I'll click on that copy button right there. It's going to basically copy that snippet code into my clipboard. And I'll come back to my front end side here. And I'll use my quick content edit to find this piece of content inside the site very easily. And now that I'm on here, I can then say I'm going to put my widget right here. And what I like to do is just put a little note in there just to make it a little bit easier to find the spot if I'm, have a really large article for this one right there. I'll find my source. I can search for it if I want to, but I can see it right there. Data's right there. Perfect. And I'll clean out those BR tags right there. And And what I want to do now is actually say that what you want to do is you actually want to wrap that snippet inside of a div. And we're going to use that class for that div or that span to basically be the pointer, the selector for that render child widgets right there. So what I can do is I'll click that. I'll just type this in. Class equals, I'll say content widgets. And again, I'm saying widgets because, again, you actually could have 3 or 4 different widgets in here or more, really. It's up to you on what you want to have in there for that. Again, we could do something where we could have a row and columns in here to have an embedded grid view in here as well for that. Really up to you and based on what you want to have for that experience. And then I have that div in there, perfect. I'll paste that snippet I grabbed earlier, and then we have right there, perfect. Now I'll do a quick publish from here. And I should have shown like the non-source view, but if I come back over here, it'll be the same exact thing. I'm in live mode, so I'll only just do a quick reload right here. And what you'll see is nothing happened. If I inspect right there, I'll drill down here. You'll see my content widgets, and really it's just there's an empty div tag, and that is expected because I have to now add the code to fire that method to basically load and render the widget on the front end side of it as well. So to do that, in this case, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to set it up so that any widget that's using this view will have this functionality applied to it. If you're going to do this a lot on your site, I'd recommend to do this at the global level. So maybe add this to your custom JS file to fire this event, when the page loads, and then fire that render custom widgets as well for that. So now that I have that in there, I'm actually going to come to my properties here, look at my widget properties here, look at my gear. I'm just going to add a snippet of code to the view file to make this event happen. So here's the one we're using. I'll click on the link right there. Go all the way to the bottom. I'm just going to say, what I'll do is I'll copy this guy up here. So it's called, render child widgets. Control C, copy that guy right there. I'm going to paste that in there. And this is looking for a class. In this case, I'm going to say it's going to be, what was it? It was content widgets. Now again, this could be whatever you want. Just use the same class or ID that you used on the when you put the content inside the widget inside the content itself. So I'll do a save right there. Update and exit. I'm going to say no on this question right here. And so when the page loads, you'll see now I have my widget in there. So this is fantastic because again, this is now independent of the content itself. So again, if I have an article or a calendar event add to this important dates right there, this will be updated automatically. I know that the CSS probably needs to be cleaned up a bit. But this kind of gives you the idea of what we're doing here for this. And again, you can have as many as you want to inside the content right there. And again, like I said, I'd recommend that best practices moving forward, we put this at the global level. But for a quick little example and a pinch, this works out great. So again, my name is Dan O'Neill with Akumina, and thank you for today's video, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future.